Jude just referenced my Samhain video from last year where I had carved turnips, and she thought they were so cute, and I thought I'm going to do them again this year, and I thought it would be fun to show you how I do them. You can do them your own way, but I saw a few friends of mine got the idea to carve turnips, and they actually went and bought turnips at the local grocery, and they didn't come out the way that really they should have. I think they cut the tops off, and like you would a jack-o'-lantern, and then a turnip, what we think of a turnip is that white and purple round fruit. They were very squatty. It just looked like a little cup, so I didn't like it. What I use are yellow. They're in, I think in England they're called yellow turnips. I think I said that these are what they use for in Scotland for tatties and neeps when you have haggis. The neeps, the turnips, they're yellow turnips. In the States, at least in California, we call these rutabagas. So this is what you want to look for, because you see they have a pointy shape. And this is the top, and this is what forms such a really cool looking little jack-o'-lantern, okay? To see what it is that I'm aiming for today, I'm just going to show you real quickly how I do them. The process takes a while, and if you would go to my last year's Samhain video, part 2, I believe it's part 2, where I have an altar tour, Samhain altar tour, and it's at the end of that video. I have a really nice shot of that altar, and the little turnip lanterns are lit, and it looks really cute. So let's see what we're going through. If you would see that also, you would see that last year the turnips or rutabagas, I'm going to call them turnips because, you know, they're really yellow turnips. The turnips that I used last year were really only about this size. Well, look what I got this year. Oh my, it must have been a really good year. Some of these are huge. And of course, the bigger they are, it's a little harder to carve. Now, it's a little, don't get put off by that, because what you're looking for is a really nice shape. You want to be able to see, do I have a bottom that I could sit the turnip on so it would stand up? A really nice bottom. See? And also, they all have some sides. Is there a side that I can put a face on it? This one, I don't know if you can see it, but this little end here, which is bulging out, this is really hard in here and rough, and I don't think that would make a very good face. But around this side, nice and smooth, and also right here, it's nice and smooth. So there's a couple possibilities where I could, depending on where I want the face to be. Okay, and I like the way that they do not sit even to each other. You know, I don't know if you can see that, but they're like on angles from each. You know, they sit, some are leaning this way, and that's what makes them look really cool. And if you see them in a group, if you look at my video, you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, now the reason I said it's not really too big of a deal, if you're going to carve a big one or a small one, the small one maybe carves a little faster because it might not be as hard or whatever. But you really do not need to carve the entire inside, like when we think of a jack-o'-lantern and a pumpkin, the entire inside is carved. And here we just need to go up inside. I don't know if you can see, I hope so. But it's just deep enough to put a tea light, a little LED battery-powered tea light. So when you're carving, you just, from time to time, set it up there and make sure that it fits, number one, and number two, wherever you put your face is going to be carved, okay? And you'll see that in a minute. I want to show you how I start the process of carving, because now, for tools, use what you want. My favorite tools, I have a little paring knife, which I love because I can get a really good hold on it. I have a spoon, a nice firm spoon, and I have the little Pumpkin Masters 4-in-1 carving tool, which costs $1.99. You can pick these up at a grocery store or any kind of like I'm sure like at a Michael's or whatever, but grocery stores around here have them. And even I think a lot of places like Pumpkin City, if you have a place pumpkin patch, you know, local pumpkin patch, they will sell these little carving tools there. And you know, it's $1.99, so I always have extra because it could be easily broken. But these work on big pumpkins, so they work on these too. But they work. And one of my favorite tools that I use that I cannot find is a little apple core. I like that because it has a serrated edge. But it's not necessary. I mean, you know, whatever tool you use, what works for you. Okay? I just want to show you, I'm not going to show you the whole thing, but I want to show you when I start, my process for starting. I'll use one of these smaller ones, okay? And make sure you have a nice firm base. And then I just take a knife and I just really carefully, wait, I'm just going to go and make a little, like a indent. Just piercing the knife in a little bit, the tip of the knife in, around in a circle. You see I'm not going the whole way in. Okay? And then I'm going to just take, and I'm just going to make like an X. And that one I just made an X with my knife. In a bigger one such as this, I would have made a bigger, maybe, you know, cut it into more than 6 pieces or 8 or whatever. But that's just to get it started. And then I take my spoon and I start to go around in there where I've cut, and you see it just sort of comes out. Now, when I say get a spoon, you don't want a flimsy spoon that you're going to bend, because then you'll be really pissed off. And you want one that you can really get down on the top of the spoon. You see, when I use a knife, I'm really down here on the blade, so you don't want something that's really terrifically sharp. You want to keep your finger away. It has to be sharp enough. But you want to be able to control the knife. If you're way up here, you're not controlling, the knife can slip and you can get hurt. Down here, I'm confident that I can just get in and I can, I'm spraying turnip pieces all over my dog who's under the table. But anyway, I use a combination of digging in and going around in this motion with my knife and with my spoon in that circular motion, just this way. Digging, digging, digging around in a circle. That kind of a motion. And you see how much, I'm clear up to here already inside. So this one, the thinner, the smaller ones really do not take that much time. The bigger ones maybe a little bit more, okay? So you get that cleaned out as much as you can. And again, if you want to get closer to the wall, just again go in with your knife, further in, and take, and just pierce and pull it out, just so that you're piercing, breaking into that turnip. Because when you start taking your other spoon in there, those breaks that you're making in the flesh of that turnip are going to just break away. Okay? And they're going to come out your spoon. See? And I just go round and round and round to get it nice. And it's really actually kind of fun. I have a really nice little scooped out area in the turnip. Okay? Now, to see how big it needs to be around, some of the smaller ones might be too small this way. Remember your little light, whatever you're going to use inside, it can be a regular little battery tea light, or it could be one of these little LED tea lights that flicker, which is what I like at Salad. And I got these at Royal Market, but you can get them different places. The batteries are already in them, and these came in orange and in black. Doesn't matter what color they are, because you really don't see. It's just the flickering, you know. But anyway, you want to make sure that your hole is big enough that your little candle is going to fit in. And here I say, uh-oh, not quite big enough, right? So I'm going to go back with my knife, and I'm going to make this initial hole and just start shaving bits off of it. See how I'm shaving bits? Shaving bits off of that. Just to make that a little bit bigger, okay? And then scooping out. Now, you don't want to get so carried away that when you scoop that you go clear through the wall of the turnip. You're not going to do that. Once we get to a place where you feel that you think you're pretty close to the wall. You know, I don't know how big your wall is, but it's at this point we're checking it fit really nicely over the candle, right? And then I'm going to look at it and say, where you what I want the face to be. Okay, where do I want the face? And I'm just going to turn it around and decide on what side, how I want it to look, what side wants to be the face. When you get to that point, I think I will use this one, which is hollowed out. I take a Sharpie and I decide what I want my face to look like. And I usually don't add noses and, I mean, I like eyes and a mouth. I don't know why. On a jack-o'-lantern, yeah, you need, remember on a jack-o'-lantern, you really need all the openings because you're using a candle usually. And you need all the air to get in here. But here we're using a little tea light. So it's just what we want to see. And I like a mouth. I like here, I'll put my 2 eyes. And it's just a suggestion of my eyes. And then I'm going to put my mouth. Whoa, I'm going to make this kind of a mouth this time. You see that? Okay? And that's all I want. So I did it with my Sharpie. And this is where then I get this little tool, which is really a fascinating tool for a little cheap thing like this. And if you, when you get it, if you look at it, it has the rough side and a little finer teeth, and then it has this edge. And that edge is good for piercing. Like when you start, you pierce that gets you in, and you can go around your whole design and sort of give that a little bit of a piercing. Or you can just get it in, pierce it in, and then use the teeth to saw. And it's a flexible blade. It's made to go around curves. But in the beginning, when I first do it, I just like to get that little piece of eye out, or whatever it is. I'm going to just get the piece to come popping out. There it goes. My little piece, the outside layer. Okay? So I've started my hole. It's not the whole way through. So then I use the tool, and I just go in. And this is just, you learn by doing, and you just go in and just slowly go around inside that hole to try to get, you want to break through. The idea is to break through where you have carved, right? If you've carved up far enough in there, you should be able to break through the wall and you should be able to see. Okay, I'm not through yet, so I have to widen my eye a little bit more. Remember, the top is just, just like in a pumpkin. If you've done a pumpkin, you know what I'm talking about. And just get it a little, opening up the whole way into the center. The thickness of that wall has to all be opened. And you use whatever tool, maybe the tip of a knife, whatever you have. It works. Works for you, that's what you use. Right? Okay. And I'm just going to keep doing this. Going around in that eye. Until I get through. Until I see that I'm through. And if I'm not getting through, oh, I see air. I see that I'm getting through. So I'm going to go in back here where the eye is and just dig a little bit more up in here. Scoop a little more out. Because I want to be able to see. I want to be able to see that I can go clear through. And whether you go from the outside to the inside does not matter as long as you get through it, right? So, going through the outside, making sure you're in the absolute places, and now I'm through. And now I'm through. I've got an absolute hole in there. And I can see the inside. Okay, so I just continue to clean that out. And I do each one accordingly. Okay, so that I know I can see. So eventually I'm going to get, this one is one I've already done. Okay, I've got 2 eyes and I've got a little mouth here. And I'll show you what it looks like. It's a nice big opening in the bottom. And I like to use, I have all these different kinds of candle holders. I have different heights, all different kinds. Because that's what I like to see them in different heights and in an arrangement. They look so cool. So you turn it on. This is how it looks when it's done. I'll turn on my little candle, and you see it comes from the bottom. Have that's turned right. Can you see that? I think so. See the holes there? They're there. You should be able to see that. Okay? Looks pretty good. And then you just continue on and doing them all in the same exact way. So that's really fun. Please remember, if you're interested, to go to my, again, it's the second, it's Samhain Ultra Tour, I think. It's part 2 of my Samhain videos from last year, and it'll show you at the end them all done up. I have them on different heights. I did put something on here. I usually put, you know, I like them sitting on dried leaves. That looks really nice. So, but I can't get dried leaves right now, or they'll be, you know, I'm gonna get them closer to the weekend. Okay, so anyway, that is that. Remember, if you're in California, at least you're looking for rutabaga. Other than that, you're looking for yellow turnips, or maybe Swedes, depending on where you are. Okay, I'm going to cut one more time. I have one more really quick project that I want to show you that I'm going to do. Okay, so I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. This is my hat, my beautiful hat that I decorated for this Samhain, and I'm going to zoom in. Hopefully you can see a little bit. I hope this is the zoom. Yeah, you can see a little bit better. What I have put on this hat, I have flowers that I've attached, and the flowers, I have used some of these really cheap little skeletons and posed them using, I don't know if you can see, but I have, wait, let me move this. Maybe from that angle you can see that they're really posed. I have arms and legs coming out different angles, and you can get this on YouTube. You can see how to do this on YouTube, but I was going to show you how I did it myself because I'm really kind of proud of it. And these are this one skeleton coming out of this flower. You turn it that way. And the front there, those are 2 of my chicken feathers for wings. And I have some of the wool that I was working on for hair. Again, silk flowers. And I took the skeleton bits apart, and I'm going to show you how I did that. So let me zoom back out. Whoops. How do I get it? Okay, zoom back out. Here we go. I'm so good at a camera. I'm sorry. And I'll get my camera placed, and then I'm just going to show you. It's real quick. Real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, I believe we're recording. I've got myself set up here for my final project I'm going to share. Been a long day. I'm going to have a little sip of my wine here. Yes, yes. Yes. Okay. My hat here that I was showing you. I've used these little figures that I got at the 99-cent store here. And they're little Happy Halloween glow-in-the-dark skeletons on a string. Now, they're of course were 99 cents, but because it was Halloween, it was buy one, get another one free. So I got these, and I also got some of these, which are kind of stupid. Well, they're not stupid. I don't want to judge. I don't want to judge. But these are, I don't know what they're supposed to be. Maybe pirate skeletons. In case that's your thing. Pirate skeletons. They might be. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. But anyway, I have those too. But what I liked about these little glow-in-the-dark ones is this is what I used in my hat here. Because I was thinking, you know, we're going to be outside around a fire. And I've got the black hat and everything, and I was hoping that they're going to be visible. So anyway, they're very fun to use, and what I have here in front of me is a little jar, a little bowl of hot water and a bowl of ice water. It's just like blanching vegetables, blanching beans, blanching beans. Guess I need another drink of my wine. Yes, okay. Now, these little skeletons come apart really easily. If you want to just have the legs or the arms, you can tear them off. and have those. Like I did on my hat. I took the heads off, pulled the heads off, and on one I pulled the whole upper torso off, and I used the legs both still hooked onto the pelvic bone and also off. But I want to show you how easy they are to bend, because I have in mind I'm going to do a couple more. I have out by my front door a web and some pumpkins and things, and I wanted to put here. I have the theme here is these skeletons are they're skeleton fairy skeletons, and they're coming up out of the flowers, or they're imprisoned by the flowers, but here they're coming out. They're trying to get out of the flowers on my hat, and that's the theme. And on the front porch I'm going to have them, some of them caught in a web on the spider web, you know, the spider web that you can bind around. So I'm going to try to pose them that way. So to pose them, you see, this is the pose that they're in now, arms down, everything straight. The idea is, just like green beans, we're going to take the skeleton and we're going to hold it down in the hot water for like 10 seconds. Just soften it. It's supposed to soften. Enough to try to move it, to move the position. And with this one, I wanted to move the arm up. I'm going to try to move the arm up. So I'm going to put it in, using my tweezers, holding the arm up in the water. I don't know if you can see. For like 10 seconds. And then I'm going to plunge it into the cold water. Wah! Plunge it into the cold water, blanching the skeleton in the water. Just leave that about 10 seconds. And that's supposed to get it to be in a state of remain in position. Oh, and didn't it do it? It did. It kind of did. Right? Kind of stayed up. You see, instead of being down, it's now out. Now I can bend it again. I don't want to put my cold water in my hot water because that will cool it off. But let's try it again. Bend it in. And it helps for me to use my hands. I'm a hand person. I wouldn't suggest that you put your hands in that hot water, but I can put it up. And now I put in the cold. Because I want to see the position this so that perhaps it was flying into the cobweb or resting in the cobweb or being stuck in the cobweb. I'm not sure what the theme is. Oh, now I got it. You see, now it's way up in the air. Okay? Can you see that? I don't know if you can see it at all. I hope you can see it because I cannot see it. Okay, so I'm going to have my head turned. This one, I think I'm going to put this one up too. Okay, so I'm going to put the other arm in. Now I've turned it over so that the other arm is going in. 10 seconds. And it's really, these have, you know, it's really permanent, I guess, once you move in. It's very lightweight plastic. And again, I should put the tweezers. I'm kind of running my fingers right now. Metal bowls really hold heat, so they're good to use. Because it's hot today, I still have a fan blowing on me, so it would cool off my water if it wasn't really hot. Oh, and I see I straightened my other arm. Oh, you gotta be careful. I straightened my other arm, so I'm gonna do it again. Well, I just ripped them apart. Nothing that can't be fixed with a glue gun, though. All right. Again, I'm holding it in the position I want. About 10 seconds. And then into the cold. And now there it is. It's nice and stayed. It stayed nicely. Okay? So anyway, that's all there is to it. And, oh, I see this does not break. It comes apart. It comes apart very nicely. There's little pegs on there that go in there. And I can just snap it back together. So you can snap apart your pieces and then put them back together. Okay? So anyway, there and on we go. And then I have, in case I want to, if I'm trying to make little fairies, I do have, put this on the towel. Okay. If I want to make little fairies, I do have some feathers. These are feathers from my chickens and from some unfortunate birds. I'm always collecting feathers. So I'm going to do that. And then I have some of the wool that I've used from the sheep that I had scoured the other day, and I'm going to use some of that. It's really good for hair. But you can use pieces of whatever you want. So I'm going to have some wings, some feather wings, and I'm going to have some hair, and it's going to look kind of like this. Now, one last thing I want to say before I go. Where will I put it? Here. Let me clean up the water. Before I go, I just want to say one last thing about I think that's good. Is that good? I don't know. Is that good? There we go. You know, a lot of people don't like to wear, a lot of witches do not like to wear the witch costume in Halloween, because to us it's not a costume, it's not we're not pretending to be something, that's something we really are, right? Well, we do the same thing with the SCA. When we wear garb, we don't like to wear garb as a costume because that's our clothes as well. But this time, when I was marrying the two worlds between the SCA and with and my witch life, I decided it was really appropriate because so many people, you know, come as witches. They're very fascinated by witches. People that are not witches are very fascinated, and it's kind of fun to be the witch in the room, to be the real witch at a time when everybody else is like being a pretend witch. I feel sort of like Kim Kardashian, you know, everybody's dressing up to be her. I don't know, that was random, I don't even know who that is. But anyway, you know what I'm saying. So anyway, that's why I'm using the witch's hat. I'm really claiming my ownership of who I am as Samhain, and I'm being true to it. And of course, Samhain, I remember, is, and it could, traditionally in the insular Celtic world, it was from sundown on the 31st through sundown on the 1st, and then extended for 3 days, which we do here too. The neighbor is playing with his motorcycle. Very fascinating. Anyway, I'm sorry if this went long. I'm going to edit, try to get it as small as I can for you, and I wish you all the blessings of a beautiful Samhain. Enjoy this season, enjoy the time, and make some wishes and set some goals for yourself in the coming year. This is a really cool thing. We all do that in New Year's as well, as Americans. I think most of us do. That's a big thing here in resolutions, but this is not resolutions. This is about setting and actually stating what it is that you really expect and really want. And that is, this is the time to affirming that right now. What it is you really want, so, and what you really expect. More of an affirmation. So, anyway, I'd love to see what you do for Samhain. And I'm going to stay in touch. I'm really sorry that I've been out of touch, so. Anyway, I'm back. And blessings again. Thank you for coming to my channel. I'm Rebecca.